Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Bringing back the live video here this week. I was out of town last week speaking at Clipicon. So excited to be back with you all here today. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. And today we are going to talk about how to bridge the gap or merge the gap between personal branding and closing sales, getting new clients, essentially getting a return on investment for all the different work that we are doing. So if you're watching this video, make sure to ask your questions, write some comments, just getting everything set up here on my laptop to be able to cross stream here as well. But today I really want to dive in and go deep on this topic. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, we do these trainings, unless I'm traveling, every single Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. These are free trainings, value adds to people that are supporting and interested in growing their personal brand and growing their business in the result of the process. Every single Thursday, we bring on somebody, and sometimes it's Friday, depending upon my Scrabble schedule. We live interview someone that's either in our Builders of Authority Mastermind community or somebody that we believe can provide value to our network. So this Thursday, I'll be joined by Mike Kitko. If you are interested in being interviewed, make sure to reach out to me. It's first come, first serve to our Builders of Authority members. We're booked out to about July right now. But always opportunity if you have something of value and you can provide some insights to our audience. We are running a special right now to join our Builders of Authority community. So it's $250 a month or $2,500 for the year. You get some awesome things that are included. I won't read those things out, but you can click the link in the description of this video and come join our Builders of Authority community. And then last but not least, we have BOA Live happening here in June this year. We finished an amazing pre-sale where we had 67 people register between attendees, speakers, and sponsors. So it is going to be a bigger and better event than what we did in March. That is June 26th. You can, again, buy a ticket with the link in the description. But that's at buildauthority.co/event. We have 5 VIP tickets left and 15 tickets left as a whole. So I want to dive in. I want to spend the next 20 minutes or so really helping you understand the difference between personal branding and sales and growing your business. I think there's a lot of confusion. A lot of our BOA Mastermind members have been in our program now for over 90 days. A lot of people have been following along in these trainings and are investing time, energy, and resources into this stuff. If you have questions, or if you're just watching this video and this content is valuable, right? I want to make sure this content is valuable. Drop a note. Let me know you're watching. I know we have some eyeballs watching on the video. I can see it right now. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know how I can help you. That's where a lot of these future trainings come from. So if I don't know what you're interested in learning about, I can't help you even further. But I will start with this, right? I have been doing personal branding now for what will be 4 years come August of this year. So we're at about 3.5 years now. And as I take a look back at how personal branding, how content creation, how my journey has evolved, of course, it's gotten noisier. There's more people that are investing into creating content than probably ever before. And there's more platforms. So the attention span, which was, again, when I got started, primarily heavily on Facebook for a lot of people or a lot of my ideal clients, now there's multiple platforms where everybody is spending their time, energy, and resources. And as a whole, people are getting fed up with, for a lot of reasons, with social media. So all that to be said is there's more opportunity out there than ever before, but there's also more competition, right? So I've been doing this for 4 years. You can't compare your journey of doing this for 90 days, 6 months, or even a year to my 4-year journey. You just can't, right? So don't get frustrated with where you're at in the journey or the process. Figure out what you can be doing maybe differently, better, or more of, in order to start to get some of those results. Now, there's two main philosophies that I want to get across here today. Number one is that personal branding and writing content and creating content and generating leads is completely different than sales and closing deals. You can generate all the leads in the world. You can make all the posts in the world. Everybody can know who you are. But if you are not good at sales or effective at sales, then you are not going to be able to capitalize on what your personal brand has built, right? The other thing is, and this comes back to spending 6 years in digital marketing, working with business owners on sending them leads, running ads, doing SEO, doing all those things. A digital marketing or a personal branding lead is not going to close at nearly as high of a clip as somebody that is a word of mouth off the street or a referral from a client. It's just not going to happen. And the same thing is true for personal branding, right? So if Susie down the street calls you, if you're a home service business, and Susie says, hey, my neighbor is interested in getting the same work done that you did for me, can you call and give her a quote? Can you set up a meeting? You're going to close that time and time again at a much higher clip than somebody that searches you on Google, or that somebody sees that you were tagged in a local Facebook group, or somebody that sees some past work of yours because you've consistently been posting on Facebook. And I also understand that a lot of people watching this and a lot of people in our Builders of Authority community sell B2B. They sell their service, product, widget, whatever to a business. So if your sales cycle is typically 90 days, like I typically talk with somebody for 90 days before they close, and you start personal branding for 90 days or 6 months or whatever, it's going to take longer to close somebody, whether it's personal branding, digital marketing. It's going to take longer to close that person. When I was in the agency, it took about 6 to 9 months on average for somebody to watch my content and buy our services. With Builders of Authority, it's kind of the same thing. We're seeing 3 to 6 months at times. Sometimes referrals drive quicker business. Sometimes, it's just the right place at the right time. But like, there are people, and of course, Builders of Authority didn't launch until November, but there are people that have been following me for years that are now just signing up for Builders of Authority. So I experience the same struggles, the same like sales and prospecting initiatives that I have to do that most of you are going through. So you're not alone in this process. I signed up my first client directly related to personal branding at day 89. I could have thrown in the towel. I could have said, hey, this posting twice a day sucks. All these things aren't worth it. It took me to day 89. I literally told myself I was going to give myself 90 days. At day 89, I signed up my first client. Sold him a website, did search engine optimization, paid advertising, ended up being a client for over 3 years. He referred me a bunch of business. He's a good friend of mine here, all those different things. But it is going to take a while. Just because you're doing all the posting, you're doing all of the activity, but the activity and the results are two completely different things, right? You can't be tied to the results always. They are important. One of my core values in the acronym of trust is results matter. But the result is also the continuous showing up day in and day out of doing the activity. Activities drive results, but sometimes they don't drive results until later on in the process. Johnny said, spot on. I met my coach last year, my last coach, almost a year before we started working together. Absolutely, right? In certain industries, there's going to be longer sales cycles. And with digital marketing and personal branding, it's going to be even a longer sales cycle, right? And so you can't get frustrated with the activity or the process or the journey. You have to fall in love with all of this stuff. I'm obsessed with creating content. Those of you that know me now know that. But those of you that knew me 2 and 3 and coming up on 4 years ago, and especially the people that knew me before then, which I know is very, very few of you, especially watching this video, I never posted on social media. I never did. So that's one activity or concept I want you to understand is, again, the sales cycle, the differentiation, the way in which people buy from digital marketing or personal branding versus word of mouth or any other factor in which they buy. The second aspect, right, is that personal branding and digital marketing will not help sell a shitty product. It will potentially help you push some things under the rug and sell more stuff. But if your company is not built for growth, or if you are not confident in what it is that you're selling to strangers off the street, then you are going to struggle. It doesn't matter what personal branding, how many digital marketing leads, whatever that is, you are going to struggle to get this to grow. So there's likely a disconnect that is happening internally with you as the salesperson, if you're an entrepreneur that is doing the sales with inside of your organization, or if you have a sales team, from the leads that are being generated to the prospecting part of this, and then to tying the sale all together. So there's a mind shift that needs to change and level up, or you need to figure out how to get better at the product or service that you're offering people. Again, personal branding is only going to put more eyeballs on whatever it is that's behind closed doors inside of your business. And we would see this all the time with digital marketing as people start dumping more money into marketing and advertising because they think they have a marketing and advertising problem. Then they start to get more leads and they realize they just don't know how to close the leads. Good marketing and advertising or personal branding will only magnify whatever the real situation is underneath your business, right? Or the strengths or the weaknesses of the salesperson. And that can be you as the entrepreneur or somebody on your sales team. If you have a really, really good product or service, you are going to, with more leads, be able to consistently grow your business. Now, the processes and systems, the customer experience, the operations, the fulfillment side, that's a whole other set of questions and potential issues, right? But if you have a really, really poor product or service, that is only going to get brought further to the surface and magnified as things grow and scale with your lead flow. So those are two concepts that I want you to understand, right? The sales cycle of your business, the sales cycle of your business from a typical lead that comes from a referral or however you're getting most of your leads right now versus what you will see with digital marketing or personal branding. Concept number 2, again, is that personal branding, digital marketing, whatever, does not automatically mean more sales. And it's only going to magnify the truth behind the business right now. Going to take a quick drink. If you have questions, if there's anything that I can answer for you, drop all that stuff below. I want to make sure that I'm answering the most up-to-date questions that you all have about personal branding, marketing and advertising, whatever that might be. But if you have any questions about this, please let me know. The bigger aspect that I want to kind of talk and teach on here today is prospecting and sales is like dating, right? A good personal brand or marketing and advertising is like somebody that's like the cool kid on campus or the star quarterback of the football team or the person that's just, really, really social at school. Think about your personal brand. Think about the marketing and advertising. Think about your business as being in the dating game, right? Some people, the people that I see that generate a bunch of leads or that they're doing all of the activity, right? I could almost guarantee you that if they were doing sales inside somebody else's organization or if they were out in the dating pool right now, would struggle. And that's not a bad thing. That's just something that you need to be conscious of. So you're going to have more reps. You're going to have to ask out more people in order to get that first date than the person that is firing on all cylinders, has a bunch of people coming to them saying, hey, will you go out with me? So again, I've been doing personal branding for 4 years. When I'm teaching and talking about the opportunities and the inflow of leads I'm getting, that would be the equivalent of people, again, being like, Adam, I want to go on a date, quote unquote, with you. Whereas if you're just posting and you're showing up and you're getting leads and maybe people are getting you connected in different areas, but then nothing is happening, or you're not even getting calls, you're getting no-shows from discovery calls, things like that. You can't sell the roofing service, or you can't sell the landscape design that you're doing. Everybody's ghosting you, whatever it might be, right? That means you need more prospecting and sales reps side by side with building your personal brand. I didn't just get good at sales overnight. I had been in medical device sales for 5 years before I went full-time into digital marketing. I took what was really, really good and what I was really, really good at for medical device sales. I paired that with my digital marketing expertise and really the nerd side of what I was doing, along with the fulfillment and the customer experience. And then I allowed it to grow, right? They all didn't happen at once. So when you're sitting there looking at the people that you're connected with, because if you're posting twice a day, if you're doing a reel a day, if you're doing one live a week, if you're building your own community, if you're adding 5 new people every single day, if you're active in the Facebook groups, your friends list will grow. Your engagement and reach will, in fact, grow as a result. But you have to, again, take it back to thinking about it as a dating game. You're the new kid on the block, the new kid at school, the person that, is the hidden gem, if you will. When people are liking and commenting and sharing your stuff, but you've never had a conversation with them, you need to be that person that goes and asks that person for a date / a call, right? Think about it. Somebody's essentially raising their hand with a vote of their time, energy, and resources with a like or a heart or a comment or a share, or them sending a referral to you of somebody that they know in their network. They're raising up their hand, kind of. You need to go meet that and ask them. And I refer to it as, in most businesses, as a value add call, especially if you're B2B. I tell people all the time, I try to do 2 to 3 value add calls every single week. Even now to this day, as we're continuing to grow, and even as I was super busy. Value add calls are people that I know I can provide value to, that I need nothing in return from them. And at some point, they're either going to hire me, be an advocate and a referral partner and a raving fan for me, or connects me to that next layer of people that I need to be connected to. But what I would be doing is and it's not, hey, I get somebody adds me on or I add somebody on Facebook and then they like my one post and I'm going and hopping in their DMs. No, you want to see a consistent theme. So if they've been a friend of yours for a month and they're kind of consistently almost every other post or 30% of the posts or whatever, liking and commenting on your stuff, then I'm reaching out and I'm like, hey, Adam, thanks so much for the support recently. I would love to hop on what I call a value add call. Just see where I can be of value to you and your business. 15 to 20 minutes. Here's my calendar. What does next week look like? Are you available on Friday? So especially in the beginning, you are going to have to work that prospecting and sales muscle harder than myself, for example. I don't have to do that. I actually don't have to do a lot of the stuff that I'm teaching you all anymore. But I do it because I'm never content and I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to have to rebuild up the momentum that I have going on. And I want to be the person that when people come into our community or watch these trainings are like, wow, Adam is talking about X, Y, and Z. And I see Adam doing X, Y, and Z. That's why people join my program. That's why people hire me for one-to-one personal branding, coaching, and consulting. That's why people, we've almost sold out of our event with 2 months to go, right? I walk the walk and I practice what I preach. It's simple. You would absolutely think it's simple, but it's a rarity in today's world. I'm telling you what I'm actually doing still 4 years later into building this personal brand and building what I've now done in multiple businesses. I'm rebuilding a company or building a company from the ground up with Builders of Authority, having to do all the same stuff and more of what I used to do 4 years ago when I was growing the agency. And 6 years ago when I was growing it as a side hustle. So you are going to have to get uncomfortable. I understand for a lot of people, personal branding is uncomfortable. If personal branding is uncomfortable, I can almost guarantee you in some sort of fashion, prospecting and sales is a little bit uncomfortable for you as well. I'm not talking about the lay down leads. I'm not talking about the referrals. I'm not talking about the people that would have signed up with you regardless of what your price was. I'm talking about, hey, if I told you, hey, go to this networking meeting, meet a bunch of people, shake a bunch of hands and see what happens, you'd probably be like, I don't necessarily know if I need to do that. The same thing is happening right now online. I was giving a talk earlier today at a virtual summit, and I was explaining the advantage that so many of us have being able to grow a business from our phone or our computer. I grew a multiple 7-figure agency on the digital marketing side from my phone and from my computer. Yes, I went to some in-person events. Yes, I did some local networking and things like that. But for the most part, I did the exact same strategies that I'm teaching you all each and every single week. And I'm pulling down the curtain in the people that are actually taking action on a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying their business is transforming. Although some people are closing a significant amount of business by implementing what they are doing and what we are teaching, especially the people that are in our mastermind. But there are some people that are watching my stuff that are in our mastermind and they're following to a T what we are teaching, and they're not immediately seeing the results of what's happening. That's normal. But if you were to be able to 90 days or 6 months from now, take a look at all the new friends you have on Facebook, friends, right? All the new engagement, all the new reach, all the repetition, all the podcast stuff, right? That would cost you so much money from a marketing and advertising standpoint to get all of that into your ecosystem. If you were to go pay for all of that stuff, right? You are building something that is digital real estate and an asset for yourself while building your brand and building your business simultaneously. As I wrap up this session today, it's not to say that results don't matter, because they 100% do. But you have to be comfortable enjoying and falling in love with the process and the journey of building a personal brand, because no two people are alike. No two situations are alike. You will experience things that other people won't. Other people will experience things, both good and bad, that you don't. That's just how life and business goes. But I guarantee you, if you take a step back and compare personal branding and growing your business to that of a dating game, I guarantee you, or not a dating game, but like dating in real life, I guarantee you, you will be able to self-audit and self-correct some opportunities, myself included. I guarantee you Builders of Authority could be growing faster than it is right now by the amount of people that have liked, commented, and shared my stuff that I haven't gone and reached out to. I've made the mistake and been like, man, I'm too busy, or we onboarded a couple people already this week, I don't need to go do that. I'm experiencing some of the same things that you all are experiencing, are like, hey, should I continue doing this? Does this work? Do people even care? Like, I've thought recently, do people even care if I show up and do these trainings? But every single time I do one of these trainings, I get a message or I see somebody tag me in a post and they like learn something from it. And then they end up joining our Builders of Authority community and get even better results. So I continue doing all of this stuff. If you aren't getting the results that you're looking for, audit the entire process. Don't just audit, hey, am I making this post the right way, or am I doing all these different things? Audit how you're showing up to those sales calls. Audit how you're following up with these people. Audit if the product and service is even worth what you're trying to charge. There's likely more things than just personal branding that are getting you to where you're at. Otherwise, your business would be growing significantly outside of personal branding or marketing or advertising or all of those things, but you're investing in this for a reason. Because you know and you've seen that it can be a catalyst for the growth of you as the individual and the entrepreneur, as well as your business. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other comments as you're watching the replay or you're thinking of things later, feel free to drop it on this video, drop it in our Builders of Authority group. Again, I appreciate you all. We'll see you on Thursday as Mike Kitco and I come on at 1 o'clock Central, and we're going to chop it up. We'll learn a little bit more about Mike, who's also going to be speaking at BOA Live. And we'll just dive into all things personal branding, Builders of Authority, and learn a little bit more about Mike and Inner Wealth Global. See you next week. We'll see you on Thursday, actually.